Chicago wind cuts harder on a rooftop, even with heaters humming and cheap lights strung over everyone's fake smiles. I'm standing near the rail, plastic cup of beer in my hand, watching Monica laugh with some of the wives from accounting. She's in a black dress she wasn't sure about in the mirror but didn't mind when Derek complimented at the office earlier this week. I remembered that look. I filed it away. It's close to midnight when he makes his entrance. Derek Sullivan in a suit that costs more than my first car, walking like the floor owes him money. People part for him without realizing they're doing it. That's what power does in a place like this. It trains people to move. He doesn't look at me at first. He does the usual circuit: handshakes, back slaps, fake laughs, like he's oiling his machine. Then he turns, spots me, and his eyes harden with that little spark I've seen in men who like hurting things they think they own. He strolls over casually, drinking in one hand, the other hand in his pocket. "David," he says, loud enough for people nearby to hear. "Are you enjoying the party?" "Yeah," I answered. "Good view." He smirks. "Best views off the edge, buddy." Then he does it. He pulls his hand from his pocket and flicks something small, dark, and lacy onto the concrete between us. Black panties. Monica's. A crisp $100 bill folded through the waistband like some kind of sick bookmark. For a second, nothing moves. The music stutters, then dies. The DJ looks over, confused. Conversations choke off mid-sentence. 30 pairs of eyes shift from the panties to Derek, to me. Derek raises his glass. "Don't wait up tonight," he says, owning the silence. "Your wife's being taken care of." There it is. The line. The setup for the scene everyone expects. The swing, the tackle, security, police, career over. I can almost feel it written on their faces. This is where the mechanic loses it. My heart slams once, hard enough that I feel it in my teeth. Heat surges up my spine, begging for somewhere to go: my fists, my voice, the nearest object I can throw. I don't give it anywhere. I study the panties for exactly one breath. I recognize the lace. I remember when I bought them for her. That used to mean something. Now they're just data. I crouch down slowly, like I'm at work inspecting damage. I peel the 100 off, smooth it between my fingers, and fold it with care, edge to edge, like it's the most serious thing in the world. I slide it into my wallet next to my ID. I don't touch the panties. When I stand up, I meet Derek's eyes. He's waiting for rage, for a scene, for proof he's the real man, because he can break another one in front of a crowd. Instead I say, calmly, "Appreciate the tip." A couple people exhale in confused half-laughs. They don't know what to do with it. Derek's smirk twitches, just for a second. He wasn't expecting that line. I look past him, not at him, and scan the crowd. Left to right. Faces, names, roles. Who heard? Who saw? Who's already pulling their phone out, pretending they're checking a message. I count silently: 1, 2, 3:30 witnesses, give or take. I check my watch. 11:58 p.m. Friday. Downtown Chicago. Company rooftop. I brand the moment into my memory like a serial number on an engine block. Inside, the anger doesn't vanish. It doesn't cool. Crystallizes sharp, clear, stored energy. Not a bomb. A battery. I turn back to Derek and give him a small, almost bored nod. "You done?" Ask. He blinks. "That's all you got to say?" "For now." I toss my empty cup in the trash, adjust my jacket, and walk past him toward the elevator. Nobody stops me. They just move the same way they moved for him, but for a different reason. I don't look back at the panties on the ground. By the time the elevator doors close, I'm not thinking about Monica's dress, or who she's with, or what they're doing. I'm thinking about policy manuals, consent laws, bank accounts, and the simple fact that I will not be the man who swung first and thought later. They wanted a spectacle. What they got was a starting point. The drive home is all red lights and wet pavement. Chicago shining in the puddles like a city that doesn't care who just got played. My phone buzzes at a stoplight. "Monica." "Hey babe, I'm at a friend's place. Girls' night kinda happened. I'll be home late." I stare at the screen for 3 seconds. Then I type, "No problem. Have fun. Be safe." Polite, Warm. Exactly what an unsuspecting husband is supposed to say. I hit send, slide the phone back into the holder, and feel the $100 bill in my wallet like a hot coal. The apartment's dark when I step in. No heels by the door. No jacket on the hook. The faint smell of her perfume is old, left over from earlier. The place feels hollow, like a body missing a pulse. I lock the door behind me. Habit. Control the space you're in. In the kitchen, I flip on the light above the dining table. I take out my wallet, unfold the bill, and smooth it flat in the center of the wood, right under the lamp. The green catches the light. It looks innocent if you don't know the story attached to it. I pull out my phone and take 3 photos from different angles. Then I open a cloud folder I've never told Monica about, old car pics, tool lists, random receipts. I created a new subfolder, giving it a simple name, 12-09 Rooftop. I uploaded the photos. No drama, just another file. Instead of pacing or drinking or staring at the wall, I grab a pen and a clean sheet of paper from the counter. I sit down like I'm writing an estimate for a job. Left side of the page, dates. Right side, behavior. I started 6 months back. The phone started living face down on the table. New passcode she forgot to mention. Different perfume the girls recommended. More girls' nights. Fewer details. Mileage on her car not matching her stories. Sudden spikes of overkindness. Favorite meals. Back rubs. Random, I appreciate you, texts at weird hours. I write it all out, line by line, like symptoms. No proof yet. Just indicators. In my world, engines don't fail all at once. Little things stack up until one day something cracks. People aren't much different. By the time I'm done, the page is full. It looks less like paranoia and more like a pattern. Around 2:10 a.m., the front lock clicks. I stay seated. Monica steps in, trying to be quiet. She jumps slightly when she sees the kitchen light on. Her hair's a little messed up, lipstick faded, dress under her coat. She smells like her perfume, drowned under a different, sharper scent I recognize from the office. Derek's cologne. Hey, she whispers, fake surprise. You're still up. I glance at the clock, then at her. Yeah, couldn't sleep. She moves fast, kisses my cheek, avoids my lips. Sorry, we lost track of time. Sarah's place. You know how it is. Sarah. The name goes on the page in my head, not the paper. Brand new friend. Yeah, I say. Text came through. I figured. You eat. A little. She won't look straight at the table. Her eyes flick to the side, then to the hallway. I'm gonna shower. I feel gross. Go ahead. I tell her. I'll be in bed. The shower runs longer than usual. Water pounding, fan humming. I lie on my side in the dark, eyes open, replaying the night. The rooftop, the panties, the bill, the text, the lie. The numbers all line up. When she finally slides into bed, the mattress dips. She's freshly scrubbed, but under the soap is the faint ghost of that same cologne. Stubborn and familiar to a man who works around stubborn smells for a living. She exhales, careful, like someone pretending to sleep. Within minutes, her breathing evens out for real. I stay still, staring at the ceiling. I don't shake her awake. I don't confront her. I don't ask a single question. Instead, I commit the entire night to memory. Time of text, time of door, length of shower, the lie about Sarah, the scent in the sheets. Tomorrow it all gets written down. Tonight, the war just moved from the rooftop to my dining table. Morning comes with that gray Chicago light that makes everything look honest. Monica is at the stove, acting like a commercial, eggs, toast, gentle humming. I sit at the table with my coffee and my face set to normal. You were out late, I say casual. She shrugs, fake tired. Yeah, Sarah wouldn't stop talking. You know how she is. I nod like I've known Sarah for years. Yeah, I'll have to meet her sometime. She doesn't answer that. Just slides a plate in front of me and kisses my head. I log it. Repeat of the lie, avoidant eye contact, extra affection. More data. At work, Derek walks in late, hungover arrogance all over him. He scans the shop, looking for damage. His eyes land on me. Miller, he calls. Rough night. I turn from the truck I'm checking and wipe my hands. Everyone handles things differently, I say. Some people make noise. Some people solve problems. He squints, thrown off for half a second, then smirks. As long as you know your place, we're good. Yeah, I answered. Place is important. Midday, I clip a tiny button recorder to my shirt under my jacket. Nothing dramatic, just another tool. I catch Derek in the hallway. Got a minute? Ask. I want to clear the air. Tool storage room's empty. His ego can't resist. Sure, buddy. Let's talk. The tool room smells like oil and metal and dust. Home turf for me, just another room for him. I close the door behind us. Look, I start calm. I'm not here to swing at you. I just want straight answers. How long has this been going on with Monica? He leans back against a shelf, relaxed. Being trusted with another man's humiliation feels good to him. A couple of months, he says. 3, maybe. Started casual. She was bored. You know how it is. The recorder in my jacket blinks red. What's she to you? Ask. Serious? Or just something to do? He laughs. Worth the risk. She's fun. And it's about the principle, man. Some guys are born to run the show. Some guys are background. No offense. None taken, I say. So this was about proving you're the real man. Exactly. He grins. Glad you understand. I keep my voice flat, my heartbeat loud in my ears. Good to know, I say. That's all I needed. I walk out first, leaving him in the dark, surrounded by shelves full of tools he doesn't know how to use. One of them still recording in my pocket, carrying his confession word for word. I don't go home after work. I drive until I find a quiet coffee shop with low noise and no one who knows my name. I park, sit in the car, and scroll to a number a buddy gave me a year ago when his own marriage exploded. Marcus Chun, divorce/employment law. I hit call. He answers on the second ring. Chan. My wife is sleeping with my boss, I say. I have evidence, recordings, dates, witnesses. There's a half-second of silence. Then his tone changes, all business. Can you meet tonight? Yeah. Good. Until then, you don't confront anyone. Don't threaten, don't brag. And don't gather evidence illegally. I'll text you my address. Understood. We hung up. I open my banking app, stare at the joint account. I moved $30,000 into a new personal account I set up months ago, just in case life went sideways. Not greed, not revenge. Protection. I screenshot the transfer for my records. At Marcus's office, the lights are still on. Glass door, clean lines, no nonsense. He shakes my hand and motions me to sit. Walk me through it, he says. I lay it out in order like a service report. Rooftop party, the panties and the 130 witnesses, the midnight text, the timeline on my table, the tool room confession. I place the recorder on his desk. He listens, jaw tight, eyes sharp. When I finish, he nods once. First, he says, Illinois is a single-party consent state. Your recording is legal. Second, what your boss did on that rooftop. That's not just infidelity. That's workplace misconduct, harassment, abuse of authority. Companies fire people for less. He leans forward. We run this on 2 fronts. 1, divorce. We build your case, timeline, affairs, financial protection. 2, employment. A formal complaint to HR and the board. Time so he can't clean this up before it hits. What do you need from me? Ask. Act normal, Marcus says. No outbursts, no threats. Keep documenting. Texts, lies, anything that shows pattern. Be ready for ugly when this breaks. He slides a retainer form across the desk. I read it, signed it. The pen feels heavier than it should. As I walk out into the cold night, I'm not calmer, but the chaos has borders now. I'm not just a man who got humiliated on a rooftop. I'm a man at war with a lawyer on retainer and a plan in motion. I'm at the building before sunrise, the city still half asleep, streets wet from whatever the night washed off. I park, sit in the truck for a minute, and scroll through my notes. Dates, lies, the confession. The rooftop. Time to learn the rulebook. Inside, the office floors are quiet. No phones ringing, no fake laughs yet. I take the elevator up to HR. The door to Sarah Johnson, HR director, opens a crack. Lights on. She's already there, like always. I knock lightly. Got a minute? She looks up from her screen over her glasses. Late 40s, sharp eyes, zero tolerance for nonsense. David, right? From service. That's me, I say. I had a couple questions about company policy. I want to understand where the lines are. Her expression shifts to curious caution. Come in. Close the door. I sit, hands relaxed on my knees. No twitching, no defensiveness. So, I start like I'm just a guy who reads the handbook for fun. Hypothetical. How does the company handle it if a manager uses their position to pursue people connected to employees? Like wives, girlfriends, stuff that crosses personal and professional at the same time. Her eyes sharpen. She leans back. We take abuse of authority very seriously, she says. If a manager leverages their role for sexual access or to intimidate or manipulate employees or their families, that's misconduct, potentially harassment. We investigate. Written reports, evidence, witnesses. If it's substantiated, it can mean termination. Loss of bonuses, benefits. Sometimes it escalates further. I nod slowly, like this is all new to me. So a written report is step one. Yes, details matter. Dates, direct quotes, what was said, where it was said. The more specific, the better. She studies me. Any reason you're asking? Honestly, I give her a small, tired smile. I've just seen enough in blue-collar places where lines get blurred. I wanted to know where this company stands. She relaxes a fraction. We stand firmly against harassment or abuse of power. Remember that. I will, I say. Thanks, Sarah. That's helpful. I walk out with my hands empty, but my head loaded. Abuse of authority, sexual harassment, written report, evidence, termination, loss of benefits. Those aren't just words. They're tools. Back in the shop, work moves like always. Oil, metal, noise, but I'm already in the next phase. Around lunch, I catch Derek near the break room, leaning on the counter, talking big to a couple of guys from sales. Boss, I say. Got a second? He waves the others off, enjoying the title. What's up, Miller? Are we good? I keep my face neutral. All good. Just wanted to ask. Still doing that quarterly rooftop thing? The big one for the end of the quarter. Of course, he says. Next Friday night. Same spot. Why? I shrug. The last one was memorable. There's a flicker in his eyes. He hears the word, tries to decide if there's any teeth behind it. Yeah, he laughs. Some nights separate the winners from the losers. I let a small smile touch my mouth. Guess we'll see what this next one separates. He straightens, ego full, convinced he already knows the answer. In his head, I've accepted my place. Background man, quiet loser, the guy who knows his wife prefers someone else. Good attitude, he says. Shows you understand the hierarchy. Oh, I tell him, voice calm, steady. I understand it a lot better now. He claps my shoulder like he's just blessed me and walks away, already thinking about his next drink, his next power move, his next rooftop. He doesn't realize I didn't just confirm a party. I just confirmed the time and place where the same rooftop that crowned him king is going to strip him down in front of everyone. The week before the party feels like living in two timelines at once. On the surface, I play the same role I've always played. Steady husband, reliable man. I come home on time. I wash dishes. I ask about her day. I kiss her forehead in the kitchen while she cooks. Underneath, I'm logging everything. Monday, she makes my favorite dinner without a reason. Says she felt like spoiling me. She watches my face too closely when I take the first bite. It tastes good, I say. The relief that flashes across her eyes is too big for a plate of food. Tuesday, there's a new book on the table. Some mechanic memoir I mentioned months ago in passing. She acts like she just stumbled on it. I saw it and thought of you, she says. I thank her, put it on the counter, and write a note on my phone later. Gift, timing off, guilt compensation. Her phone lives on silent now. Not vibrate, silent. Face down, always. When it does light up, she finds a reason to leave the room. Gonna switch the laundry. I need to check on something. Work text. I'll be right back. The calls get longer at night. One evening, I pretend to be knocked out on the couch, TV flickering low. She slips into the hallway with her phone pressed to her ear, voice barely above a whisper. He's been different, she says. Quieter. I think he's starting to suspect. Pause. No, this is the last time, I mean it. We just have to get through this week. Longer pause. Then soft, like a knife going in slowly. I love you, Derek. The words land, but they don't explode anything inside me. They just slot into place with everything else. One more piece on an already crowded board. I focus on the facts. She's planning one last time. She's emotionally tied in, not just physically. She thinks the problem is getting caught, not what she's doing. I don't storm into the hallway. I don't say her name. I let her have the illusion of secrecy because it's still working for me. By Thursday, she's talking about resetting our marriage after this busy stretch, suggesting a weekend away, maybe more cooking, more touches, more careful smiles. Friday morning, the day of the rooftop party, she wraps her arms around me from behind while I'm drinking coffee. You know I love you, right? She asks. I look out the kitchen window at the street, calm. I know what you choose, I say. She doesn't understand the sentence, but she hears what she wants to hear and squeezes tighter. As I drive to work, there's no debate left in my head. The marriage is already over. The paperwork and the rooftop are just formalities. The second rooftop feels colder, even with the heaters running. Different night, same view of downtown Chicago, pretending nothing ugly ever happens under its lights. This time I came alone. Monica said she wasn't feeling well. Too sick for a party, not too sick to keep her phone close. I told her to rest. She said she was sorry. I told her there'd be a lot of that going around soon. Under my jacket, 2 recorders sit snug in the lining, both on. In my pocket, my phone is ready, screen set to 1 tap for another recording if I need it. Marcus is on standby, waiting for my call. The music's louder tonight. People drink harder when they feel a storm they can't name. Derek's already half gone by the time I see him. Tie loosened, eyes glassy, holding court at the center of a laughing circle. He spots me and grins like he just found his favorite toy. Miller, he shouts, voice carrying over the speakers. You came back. Thought rooftops weren't your thing anymore. A few heads turn. Old witnesses from last time. They remember. I step into the open space between us where everyone can see. My heartbeat is steady. My hands are empty. Nice night, I say. Good crowd. He swagger walks closer. Are you here to cry or climb, buddy? I raise my voice just enough to cut through the music. I'm here about your job, Derek. Not about my wife. That quiets things fast. Conversations fade. A few phones tilt our way. Some people remember the panties, the 100, the first show. They expect a sequel. I pull my phone out and tap the screen, ending my local recording. Then I scroll to Marcus's name and hit call, putting it on speaker. He answers on the first ring. David, we're on the roof, I say. You can talk. Good, Marcus says, voice clear and sharp. HR has your written complaint, the recording of Derek admitting the affair and his motives, and your statement on the rooftop incident. The board has it too. Sarah should be calling any second. Right on cue, my phone buzzes with an incoming call. Sarah Johnson, HR. I merge the calls and turn the speaker up. David, can you hear me? She asks. Loud and clear, I say. You're on speaker. Derek's here too. A lot of us are. There's a beat of silence as that sinks in with the crowd. Then I'll be direct, Sarah says. Effective immediately, Derek Sullivan's system access is frozen. The board has called an emergency meeting to address multiple policy violations and potential harassment. David, you are advised not to engage with him further tonight. Derek laughs, but it's thin. This is ridiculous. You're listening to a jealous mechanic. I've listened to you, Mr. Sullivan, she cuts in, on a recording where you describe using your position for conquest and to prove you're the real man. We'll speak in person downstairs. Do not leave the building. I reach into my jacket and pull out one of the small recorders, holding it up where everyone can see. This, I say, is one of the devices that caught that conversation. Single-party consent. Legal. Backed up. Phones are out now. A ring of blue screens surrounds us. Some people are filming. Some just look sick. Derek's phone starts buzzing. Over and over. He glances at the screen and turns it face down in his palm. Like I don't know that move by now. I caught a glimpse of the name anyway. Monica. He steps toward me, voice dropping. You think this makes you the man now? I shake my head. No. This just makes me done playing the idiot. I turn to the crowd. Steady. I'm sorry to everyone here, I say, for dragging work into this. There will be personnel changes soon. HR and the board will handle the details. Then I put the recorder back in my jacket and took my phone. I don't wait for security. I don't wait for the board. I don't wait for Derek's next excuse. I walk to the elevator, press the button, and step inside when it opens. As the doors slide shut, I see him one last time, surrounded by the same people who watched him humiliate me, only now their eyes are on him like he's a broken part that just failed inspection. The doors close. Same rooftop. Different man walking away. When I walk in the door, the apartment feels smaller. Monica's on the couch, knees pulled up, mascara smeared, eyes raw from crying. Her phone is on the coffee table, screen down like it's finally out of things to say. David, she says, standing up too fast. We need to talk. We will, I answered. But everything that matters is already on the recordings. Her face tightens. That word lands. She knows exactly who would be on the other end of those recordings. He lied, she blurts. Whatever he told you, he twisted it. He's just trying to ruin us. Derek didn't tell me you said, I love you, in our living room. I cut in. I heard that myself. You also called me a routine engine in bed. That was creative, by the way. She freezes, color draining. You were listening? I was paying attention, I say. Big difference. She shifts tactics fast. They always do. Okay, she says, tears starting again. Yes, I messed up. It was a mistake. I felt ignored, and he pressured me. And then it went too far and I didn't know how to stop. And he said he'd ruin your job if I... Stop. My voice is calm, not raised. That seems to scare her more. You had 3 months of too far. You had every day to stop. Every time you walked into this apartment, you chose not to. She steps closer, reaching for my arm. We've been married 8 years, David. 8 years. You're really going to throw that away? I still love you. Love isn't what you say at the end, I tell her. It's what you do in the middle. For 3 months straight, you picked him. Every day. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. She flinches like I hit her. I don't move. Marcus Chun will contact you Monday. I continue. You should get your own lawyer. Don't talk to Derek again. He won't be much help where he's going. Tears slid down her face. Can't we at least try counseling? Please, David. I know I hurt you, but we can rebuild. I'm not interested in rebuilding something you already decided to demo, I say. I'm interested in living with a standard. I grab a pillow and a blanket from the hall closet. I'll take the guest room, I add. You can keep the master until this is done. It'll make the paperwork easier. I walk down the hallway. Her sobs follow me, bounce off the walls, try to hook into any soft place left inside me. They don't find one. I close the guest room door, lock it out of habit, and lie on the bed fully clothed. No rage, no bargaining, just a simple, quiet decision. This marriage is over. The next weeks are signatures, dates, division of property, scheduled calls with Marcus, and controlled silence at home. No screaming matches, no dramatic scenes, just an engine being shut down system by system until it's completely off. Monday, I get to work 30 minutes early and park where I can see the main entrance. The air's sharp, sky low and gray. It fits. Security is already posted outside Derek's office when I walk in. No smiles this time. No back slaps. People feel the shift before they see it. The board files in first suits, folders, tight faces. 15 minutes later, Derek's called down. He walks past the service bay with a forced grin, trying to project confidence. He won't look at me. I don't say a word. An hour later, the door opens. Security leads him out carrying a cardboard box with his life condensed into a few objects. Picture frame, mug, a couple of plaques that won't mean anything at his next interview. His face is stuck between rage and shock. Men like him don't believe consequences are real until they're holding the box. Our eyes meet once. He's waiting for a smirk, a victory lap. I give him nothing, just a flat, uninterested look, like I'm watching a part finally fail after months of bad readings. By noon, Sarah calls me into her office. "First," she says, "thank you for reporting what you did. It wasn't easy, and you did it professionally." I nod. "I just wanted it stopped." "Well, it is." She straightens a stack of papers. "The board approved Derek's termination for cause. As for you, the repair department needs an interim supervisor. Based on your performance and how you handled this, we'd like you to step in. If the numbers look good in 3 months, it becomes permanent." I think about it for a breath. More responsibility, more pay, more eyes, but also more control over the environment I work in. "I'll take it," I say. The months after that move in clear lines. The divorce finalizes. Monica signs a quiet settlement, gives up more than she planned to so nothing goes public. Marcus calls it a win. I call it closure. She moves out, then out of the city. The apartment feels bigger with just my things in it. Quieter, sure, but honest. I sleep better in honest spaces. Word filters back about Derek. No one will touch him in a leadership role with a firing like that on his record. Last I hear, he's bouncing between contracts, trying to act like it's by choice. A year passes. I'm in a grocery store one evening, work jacket on, grabbing a few things for the week. I turn a corner and almost walk right into her. Monica. She looks smaller, not in size, just presence. Tired around the eyes. She forces a smile. "Hey, David." "Monica." There's an awkward pause. She studies me like she's trying to recognize the old model. "You look good," she says. "How are you?" "Steady," I answered. "Work solid. The house is quiet. That's enough." She swallows. "Have you forgiven me?" I think about it for a moment and I don't lie. "Forgiveness is for my peace," I say. "Not your comfort. I'm not walking around angry at you. I've let it go so it doesn't own my life. But I don't forget. And I don't regret holding the line." Her eyes shine, but no tears fall this time. She nods once like a sentence just got handed down that she already knew was coming. "I'm sorry," she says finally. "I know," I replied. "Take care of yourself." I walk past her, pay for my groceries, and drive home to a small, clean place that feels like mine in every corner. No drama, no triumph speech, just a man who got humiliated, made a choice, and saw it through without lowering his standard to match the people who betrayed him. Rooftops, panties, recordings, lawyers, those were just tools. The real win was simple. I refused to chase chaos or stay where I wasn't respected. I raised my bar and kept it there.